Gentlemen, welcome back. Glad to have you here on this fine evening. I have some unfortunate news to share with you. Henry Cavill is leaving the Witcher Netflix series, and for good reason. As the topic of the video suggests, when shows go woke, they go broke. For those that are short on time, Henry Cavill, who plays the lead character Geralt in the Witcher Netflix series, is leaving his role in Season 4 to be replaced by Liam Hemsworth. So not the next one, but the one after that. The internet has concluded this is due to the writers going in a direction that he does not wish to be a part of as a fan of the books and games. By choosing to go woke, crap on the original content, and write the story in a new direction, it's really no wonder that he is moving on to chase more ambitious projects of his, like his return to the role of Superman. Now, before we continue, I want to say, if you wouldn't mind liking this video, given you've seen my content before and you enjoy it, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and hit the notification bell so that you get notifications from me every single day I have new content for you. I would greatly appreciate that, as we're going to keep on turning out interesting content like this on the daily or almost daily, depending on the scheduling. Either way, let's get back to it. So, Henry Cavill is just a massive fan of the Witcher series. He's played the game, the game that we're currently seeing most likely, although there are more than just The Witcher 3. There's 1, 2, 3. And from that, it inspired him to read the books and really pursue this TV role, which people are saying he was destined for, kind of like, what's his name? That Ryan fellow was for Deadpool. Either way, I think that this is a perfect casting for him, and everybody else feels the same way, which is why they're kind of heartbroken that, he's leaving this role, but for good reason. Anyways, let's get to the article. And there he is. Here he is. Kind of read through bit of this by just giving my own talk, but yeah. The article writer here is being pretty practical. As I noted previously, I don't think Netflix's The Witcher will survive this, and that's not a knock against Hemsworth, it's just too radical a change. It'll be extremely jarring. So I was thinking about this while I was creating this content, and the fact that we're going to an actor that's 5 or 7 years younger than Henry Cavill is, it's going to be definitely a radical change. As anybody who's played the games knows, Geralt's very distinguished gentleman who doesn't really age at all. So for him to age backwards would be very strange instead of forwards. I think they could have chosen somebody else who was older than Henry Cavill, but not necessarily the opposite way around, as I think they'd be progressing through the story forwards instead of going backwards. But hey, who knows where they're taking this, really. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's moving away from it. Just jarring through the article here. Told people on the 24th of October that he is going to be back as Superman, and that he thanks everybody for his support and patience, and promises that will be rewarding. Of course, apparently this was a cameo of his that happened during, what was it, Black Adam? I don't know. I don't really watch superhero movies that often anymore, but for those gentlemen that are more acclimated to the superhero movies, definitely leave your say in the comments. Be helpful to help each other out. I can't know everything for sure here. So when did Cavill decide to leave The Witcher? That's a big question that we may never know the answer to. We can only make an educated guess. His departure came alongside news that Geralt has already been recast as Liam Hemsworth. We can safely assume that there was some period between Cavill telling Netflix he was stepping down and the decision to carry on with the series and recast Geralt. We can also safely assume that the casting took some time. I doubt they had Hemsworth in their back pocket at that point. If they did, then Cavill's decision to leave was known even earlier. Yeah, like listen to his conviction here. The character means so much to me. It's been 5 years now. I never gave up hope. It's amazing to be here now talking about it again. There's such a bright future ahead for the character. I'm so excited to tell a story with enormous joy, full Superman. Okay, well, that's him really wanting to return to the Superman role, so that makes sense to me. Cavill's a huge fan of The Witcher books and video games. This is important. As the show drifted further and further away from the source material, there were murmurings that Cavill was unhappy, and signs that the actor would like to hew closer to the character as he was originally written. A former writer-producer on the show recently publicly stated that some of his colleagues actively disliked the source material. Given what a huge fan of the source material Cavill is, it's not hard to put two and two together. Okay. That makes total sense to me, why he would be moving on then. Yeah. It's unfortunate to hear, but I think his only conditions were that he would stick along with this series as far as it would go, given they were truthful to the adaptations, but it seems like they're moving at different paths, so it's no real surprise that they decided to go woke and change up the story so much that he just doesn't want to be part of it anymore. Which is unfortunate, but you know, the man can make decisions like that. He's a very sought after Hollywood actor, and it's just how things are going in Hollywood and with Netflix and all of that. The more we move closer to giving into the indoctrination and all of these themes and recasting people and giving them very interesting and different background stories than the original source material, people see that kind of stuff and it turns them off. Like the whole Cowboy Bebop adaptation, for example, that could have been done in so many different ways. I had absolutely no problem with John Cho being casted as an older Spike, but yeah, they just made things way too damn woke, and it made the series end in its first season, which is absolutely embarrassing. To conclude, I think that people should only be part of projects that are near and dear to their heart, not just a paycheck, but unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Sadly. However, if you don't agree with how something's working, you gotta move on, and I'm glad that he did. Shows would be so much more successful if they didn't stray so much from the original content and try to pander to this new woke audience, as I've been saying. We need movies and series that uphold traditional male values as well and not try to tear them down, while also displaying strong female roles and leads like Yennefer and Trish come across in this show. They're also very important characters in the Witcher series, being the love interests of Geralt, and I think that they've done a pretty darn good job, especially the actress that's cast as Yennefer. People can go on about Trish when they, you know, if they want. Either way, he will truly be missed in this role, and he brought so much to the show outside of just acting. This just goes to show when you change things up so much, you lose an audience, and I've been seeing so much lashback from this decision that I just don't think there's going to be a season 5. He's going to wrap up season 3. He's going to hand it over to Liam in season 4, and there'll probably be no season 5. But hey, what do you think about the direction they're headed with this? Do you think that season 4 will be the end of it? And how do you feel about Henry Cavill moving on to passion projects such as Superman? Definitely leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Anyways, as Geralt wakes up from this dream, we all wish it were a dream and this weren't happening, but to those of you out there, thanks for listening. Do your due diligence. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.